Hello, beautiful souls, dear sacred hearts. I'm Monica Bermudez, and I'm an intuitive quantum energy catalyst and healer. Here for another weekly Love Wisdom in the Facebook group of Sacred Heart Awakenings live, and also on YouTube called the Love Wisdom channel. And so, welcome to those who are watching. Every week, I do provide a specific download, intuitively guided message for the week that I call Love Wisdom. In this week's Love Wisdom is about taking initiative and the power of your own ascension and being proactive with the energies that are streaming into Earth. And I must say that these days, this is Friday, this is the beginning, what feels like a renewal and a new beginning right after that huge super new moon, superly charged new moon that was the solar eclipse as well. And certainly I felt the energy that was coming through was this huge portal of activation, and just wondering how many of you felt it. But it definitely feels like it's on a new planet. And in every eclipse that lasts, the energy lasts about 6 months. And I do feel that there is this huge new beginning happening at the collective level. And as such, as we are in this Mercury retrograde, it's also a perfect time for any form of reflection, reset, renewal happening at this time. And I've been reflecting a lot on my own human lifetime up to this point. And just seeing, the progress and all the trials and tribulations that went on throughout my human life that led me to here. And I must say that it is very humbling to be human, because after going through so much of confrontation with self, most of all, going through the trials and tribulations, going through all the range of emotions that a human would experience in every way, whether that be anger, sadness, grief, happiness, you name it, the whole range of what being human is, going through the forms of attachments and detachments and letting go, how the mental mind works and operates, and how we end up battling our own, what seems like a battle with our own ego. But then eventually, when things are in alignment with your I am source that you carry inside within you, and I always bring it back to the heart, and that I call the sacred heart. And so as I was reflecting on this, it just made me realize how humbling all of this has made me, and that is the experience of the human life as part of one of the lessons that we come to learn here on earth, is to be able to manage through the balance of the dual, to balance this dual world between the shadow and the light. And it can be humbling at that. And with humbling, it also leads into this form of compassion, a very deep sense of love for one another and respect in a different level. And being humble does not mean being vulnerable or being innocent in any way, or just not being wise. It's the contrary. Humbling is making you wise from all the experience and accumulation of knowledge throughout your lifetime of being human. So all of this, is also a form of taking initiative in this ascension, and being proactive in the ascension is taking those moments, right? And I want to share, a little more about the taking initiative. And then you're also welcome to share in the comments below what initiatives you've been taking and being proactive with this ascension, or any other questions you may have about it. But, taking initiative is like this, is going with this energy to take the time that you need, listening to your body, for one, right? And listening to what it needs. It doesn't need rest, doesn't need a reset, doesn't need time to take a break from some situation from someone, or just listening to that inner wisdom within your own heart and what it needs. And it's okay, from time to time for us to take this moment of resets in our life, because during those resets, we are also entering into a void. And the void is a bit of, can feel like a dark night of the soul sometimes, but the void is a place where we can start creating our next step forward and where we're heading in our path. And so those moments also, in a reset moment, are also reflection moments as well, where our lives had, come to this point in our life. Like, that I was evaluating my own life and realizing the humbling part of being human. So as you reflect, as you reset, what are those moments that you're feeling right now, that you're getting the aha moment, revelations in your life? And so this is really what the eclipse is also bringing up, that during those moments of reset and reflection, you also get these revelations that you didn't realize were there. They were just hidden underneath the surface. And so now is the time to really start finding them, acknowledging them, being aware of them, and taking the initiative to do something about them. And in a way, the shadow aspect is serving us to be much stronger in the light. It's almost like they're giving us this fuel of energy to ignite the light that we already have, that we already shine. And the more that we're able to transmute these shadows and bring it more so into our own light, because we're just transmuting it, we're recycling it, right, to be more in conformity with the light and realigning everything. The brighter you're going to shine the light, the easier it is for you to flow into this ascension energy that we're all in. And so that's what it is about, taking initiative and being proactive for this ascension, is taking the time that you need, taking that moment, that break. And this is all also an act of self-care. And self-care is part of self-love, because you're saying to yourself, I love myself so much now that I'm going to give myself this self-care by taking a break, taking a reset, taking a pause, and really reflecting what is going on, and taking that time to really see what aspects, what patterns, what layers are coming up that are ready to be released, let go, transmuted, and that we're able to step more into our own true authentic self of who we are already. We are souls, multidimensional souls living in this human body experience. And the more we start to transmute a lot of that, the more clarity we start to get, and the more that we also start to remember as well from who we really are already, because the soul knows. And it all starts with the heart. That is where I focus it the most, is the minute that we're able to remove these patterns and these blocks that are hanging around the heart, that is keeping it like a wall, like a layer. It's almost like this protective layer of wall. The minute that those walls start to collapse and come down, that you start to tap into your own soul's I am presence, the I am love, infinite love that you already are. And with that comes an abundance of joy as well. And that's what the ascension energy is all about. As some people may refer to it as 5D, but it's also an expansion. It's all about higher frequency. Joy is a higher frequency. Joy is love in action. And so that's where we're heading. And so it's good that, we take this proactive approach. And I say we because I include myself in this as well. I'm always constantly seeing what else wants to come up for me that is ready to come out. Any other layers, any other aspects in me that I need to look at. And, still being human. We're in this human physical body. So, of course, we'll still be going through some form of polarity in a way, right? A polarity of, who's right and who's wrong. But the soul doesn't really care about what's right and what's wrong. The soul is actually neutral. And we all carry certain aspects of our own soul contract and soul agreements that we've made before we incarnated into this life. And those soul contracts and agreements are activated at some point in our life when it is a divine timing moment for them to flourish. And so, with that divine timing now, in this ascension energy, that is a divine timing for all of us to be in this ascension wave of energy that we are all being pushed into. And yes, it could be uncomfortable because, there are so many unknowns that can happen. Not knowing where things are going. Not knowing what will happen next. And that's how it was during the pandemic last year. There were so many unknowns. Nobody knew what was going to happen. Everybody was in this moment forced to be quarantined. So being forced to go within. So that's really what the universe tells us when planets go into retrograde. Like Mercury being in retrograde, it's a moment to really take advantage of the energy, to really go within and reflect and just see what initiative to take next in this ascension process that we're in. Earlier today, I was having this moment of this reflection, and I started to really think about how attached we've been as humans in the matrix. In the matrix being like the 3D, density type dimension where everything is linear, time is linear, right? The way we see time as humans. But I was having this really interesting moment where I was actually looking at it from an observer. And I started to say, this is all like a video game. It's like we're all playing some form of video game in this. And how, attached we get to our emotions or attached to an idea, attached to, some form of being in what we see in our world, what may look like a physical form, like a chair or computer screen. It's all just made of like empty space. But, if we really look outside the matrix and we detach ourselves from it, in other words, some people would say, and we look at things from an observer, from the outside, then we can see that how, we as human beings have been in a way playing a game. And we're all just playing, different roles in our life. And each one of us played all these different roles in all these many like different lifetimes of being human on this earthly plane. Being in 3D also has made us forget, have amnesia. This veil, right, that falls over our eyes and just makes us forget all the lifetimes that we've had. But that veil is becoming thinner and thinner, and I'm feeling that. And so I was feeling that strongly earlier today of how, with the collective level of people and humanity is starting to wake up. And that's really what it is. When the veil is getting thinner, there is this great awakening that is happening. people are starting to wake up and see that there is much more than what life is, what they're seeing right now in their life. Because, before, when we're asleep, we tend to work subconsciously with, whatever society throws at us and says, society does it this way, then should we conform to this? But so many people are now waking up and saying, why have I been doing it this way when I can do it in a different way? And so then that's breaking that pattern of society's way of looking at things. So, for example, why do I have to work hard to make money when I could step in with some energy of ease and flow to bring in more of that manifestation and power creation energy that you already have? It's all inside of you. The greatest treasure is inside of you. And so I just wanted to just share that insight, that aha moment of, revelation of so many things as I was reflecting on them. And, how special it is that we are humans and that we're in this time right now of these great changes. And it may not be, that exciting for some people because of all the changes. But the thing is that those things that were ready to go are, not meant to be in your life. They're no longer part of your highest vibrational timeline. So if things are falling apart and dissolving around you, then it is for the best, because there's something greater and bigger out there for you. And it is time for you to make that change, to make that jump into that ascension power of creation that you already are, the manifester, and the energy of joy that you already carry inside of you. So share your thoughts with how things have been for you with this astrological moments of our eclipse that we've been having lately. I would love to hear your experience with it. I know there's been the weather's been a little bit interesting as well, at least for my area. And I've been seeing it all around. But I feel like with this eclipse, it's also going to bring up other hidden truths and revelations at a collective level that will cause more awakenings to happen on this planet. So just a quick announcement that I wanted to share. I am designing a money activation course for those who are interested. And this is to really break out of those energy codes of money blocks that have been holding you back, using light language and energy codes, and activating more of those money codes inside of you that you already carry. And so I'm designing this 3-week course that will be focused on that. So please message me and let me know if you're interested, and I'll be putting something together and sharing with the group. So I look forward to connecting with all of you again at another Love Wisdom weekly video message through my Facebook group. And of course, I do post videos here and there from time to time in the Facebook group as well, and on Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, please follow me too, and I'll follow you too as well. I am looking forward to connecting with you at another time. Sending you all so much love, and thank you for being here live and watching. Bye for now.